If you're going to Orlando and you make even one of these mistakes, your trip can go downhill. I've seen people spend thousands of dollars only to be left soaked, overheated, exhausted, and your trip can go downhill very, very quickly. And the worst part, most of these mistakes are super easy. But that's if you know about them. So let's get into it. Now, the first mistake, it seems so obvious, but you'd be surprised how many people do it, and that is wearing the wrong clothes. Now, I see so many people walking around the parks and they just look so uncomfortable because they're wearing either thick clothing that's just inappropriate for like kind of what they're doing. I see people going on water rides coming off absolutely soaked because they've been wearing thick cotton clothing which takes ages to dry. I'm going to give you a little tip for the water rides as well. Make sure you pack a pair of sliders with you. The reason being because the last thing you want to be doing is walking around the parks with wet feet. Take some sliders, put them on. Don't worry about your feet. If you've got fungal nail issues, don't worry, nobody's going to see you again. They're not going to be going, fucking hell, look at this. Also, in relation to sliders, my advice would be as well, if it starts to rain, which it does often in Orlando, I would take your trainers off and put your sliders on as well, because it's normally quite mild, quite warm, sometimes even extremely hot. You don't really need trainers anyway. Your feet are going to dry pretty quickly, but your trainers will take a long time to dry. Another thing in relation to clothing is restaurants. Orlando is not really a very dressy place. Not many places require dress code. I mean, let's face it, unless you're walking around with your knob and bollocks out, or your tits out, or both if you're like in one of those transitions, I'm not even going to get into that, but you know, yeah, most restaurants don't really care what you're wearing, as long as you haven't got body parts out, like vests and stuff. They're normally okay with like t-shirts. Some will not even be bothered by vests. Like if you go to like a Miller's, like a Chili's, somewhere like that, you can probably go in a basketball jersey. Yeah, so you don't have to feel like you've got to dress up to all ends. Now, the second biggest mistake I see people make is that they're just trying to do too much when they go. Take it easy. You don't have to go and do 30,000 steps every day around the parks. Have time for the pool, have time to chill out. Even if you just go shopping at the outlets, as long as you're not like in intense, constant walking, don't burn yourself out. If you do too much, you just end up ruining your holiday. You come back from Orlando feeling absolutely exhausted. Yeah, your hotels, your apartments, your villas, they've all got pools. Make the most of it. Rest those feet. Even if you just go and sit in a restaurant for an hour, get them rest times in. You just do not want to exhaust yourself because it's just not very pleasant. Yeah, take time to just relax. Now, another mistake people tend to make is underestimating the heat. Orlando will really catch you up if you don't prepare for the heat. Drink plenty of water. Wear strong SPF. I would advise SPF 50 or at least SPF 30. You're not really there for a tan. You're there to enjoy the parks. You don't want to end up getting sunstroke and being exhausted. And another tip for you in regards to drinking plenty of water, you don't have to spend a fortune on bottled water. You can take advantage of the water refills at Universal. You can just go to one of the Coca-Cola freestyle machines and it gives you free water, free ice. Or you can go into Disney, any quick serve place, you can ask for a cup of iced water. They will give you it for free, you don't have to pay. If you go to Starbucks and get a coffee, get a glass of water as well. Seriously, don't underestimate that heat. It gets intense in Orlando. Don't ruin your trip. Prepare. Also, if you're liking what you see so far in regards to this footage, please subscribe to my channel. It's Steel in the Parks. I'll drop it below. I'm about to drop an Orlando series in May and an Orlando series in September, and I currently have a series off October last year. I also drop hints, tips videos on this channel, so yeah, if you could please like and subscribe this video, it would help me massively. Now, the next biggest mistake people do when they go to Orlando is just presume that you just have to do the theme parks. There's so much to do in Orlando, in Florida in general. I mean, it might sound daft, but you've got Disney Springs where you can go shopping, there's plenty of food places, the views are incredible. You can go resort hopping, you can go around all the hotels. You're allowed to go in as of now, you can go in, have a wander around, really explore them. Another thing you can do is you can go to the outlets. You can go on, to premium outlets at the Vinelands and premium outlets down the International Drive. You can do that and just get away from the parks for a bit. You've got Kennedy Space Center, which is incredible. I'm rocking the Kennedy Space Centre. I bought this cap when I was there a couple of years ago. They do excursions. It's about a 90-minute drive away, or you can just hire a car. I would strongly advise going to Kennedy. It's incredible. You've also got Gatorland. Gatorland is a place which, as you can probably suggest, it's mainly alligators, and there's so much you can do there. That is on my agenda at some point. You can go out to Clearwater. You can go to the beach. You can go down to Tampa. You can do all sorts. So yeah, don't feel like you've just got to stay and do the theme parks. Really explore Florida. It's a beautiful state. Strongly advise doing that. Now, the last biggest mistake people tend to make when they go to Orlando is just presuming it has to be expensive. There is ways of doing it on a budget, whether it be staying outside the main areas. You don't have to stay on site or on site at Universal. You've got the Rosens, you've got the Avantis, you've got other budget hotel chains, you've got Travelodges. Is Travelodge a US company? It might be. If you get what I mean, if you're from the UK, the Premier Inn style hotels, but in Orlando. You've got the opportunity to take your own snacks, go to Walmart, stock up, get protein bars, get cereal bars, even have your own breakfast in the room. Most hotels now provide fridges and microwaves so you can prepare. You can also drink the free water, as I mentioned in one of my previous mistakes that people tend to make. You can, I mean, so many ways you can do it. Not to get too much into it, but if you're going to go twice in a year, get a Universal annual pass, for example. It works out cheaper than buying two 14-day tickets. I mean, if I'm being honest with you, Disney annual passes are a little bit, in fact, they're extremely expensive, so I wouldn't recommend doing that. But even if you're not going to do Disney, you can hotel hop. You can get that Disney magic without having to go to Disney. You just go around the resorts. Also, if you're going to book flights, I would always advise taking out an airline's credit card, such as the Virgin Atlantic one, such as an Amex card, or the one that BA use, which I think is Avios. Build up your air miles. It makes the flights a lot more manageable because all you do is you pay taxes on the flight. It can really reduce the costs on that. Yeah, you don't have to go overboard when you're in Orlando. There is ways of doing it on a budget. I mean, for example, in the trip I've got coming up in May, which lands on my channel in about 5 weeks' time, we'll be staying in an Airbnb apartment. We got it really cheap and we paid with air miles for the flight. So overall, for flight and hotel, it cost us around about £970 each for the costs. And then we've got a Universal annual pass, which cost us £274 each for a 15-month pass, which is extremely cheap. We're also doing Discovery Cove. If you're going to do deals like Discovery Cove, get it in Black Friday because you pay a lot less in Black Friday than you would in general. If you're buying Disney tickets, shop around, look on Orlando attraction tickets, even look on the direct through Disney. Sometimes it works out cheaper booking direct through Disney. You've got Florida Ticks, you've got many websites you can book them off. Just be careful, don't end up falling into some scam. But yeah, you can make Orlando manageable. You don't have to go out to fancy meals all the time. So I'm going to wrap this video up now. I hope you've enjoyed it. As I was saying, I've got a channel which I'm filming now, Stealing the Parks. I would really appreciate it if you could subscribe to my channel. I am trying to build this channel. The only way is up, and I will be dropping more hints, tips videos, more recommendation videos. I've got a 10 episode series from Orlando about to come up, and then I will have a 13 episode series about coming up in September, and then we'll be going back next year. So there's plenty more to come to this channel. So yeah, a like and subscribe would be very appreciative, and thank you for watching. Goodbye.